It has been a state of limbo for the transport sector, and it is almost all systems go, but you're going to have to add a few more things to your travel checklist before you begin your journey. When it comes to public transport, drivers will be required to have gotten a clearance certificate indicating that they have followed guidelines such as fumigation.
When they get into the counties, the accountability, responsibility becomes that of the public health officers in the counties, in conjunction with the traffic police, in conjunction with the Council of Governors, to make sure that there is compliance on a continuous basis.
Along the transport corridors, we are going to ensure through the various roadblocks that nobody passes, no vehicle, no transport vehicle passes through the roadblock without that certificate.
When it comes to passenger train services, the Madaraka Express passenger train will resume on Monday the 13th of July. One train from Nairobi to Mombasa will depart at 8 a.m. and arrive at 12:45 p.m. The train from Mombasa will leave at 1:25 p.m. and arrive in Nairobi at 6:40 p.m. The Kenya Railway shall deploy 10 passenger coaches for passengers with a total capacity one-way of 600 passengers. One additional coach is to be used to isolate passengers suspected to have COVID-19. The Nairobi commuter rail service is to link the Nairobi SGR terminus to Nairobi CBD. Services shall run from Nairobi CBD to SGR terminus at 6:35 a.m. every morning and from the SGR terminus to Nairobi CBD at 6:50 p.m. every evening. When it comes to air transport, access to airport is strictly for workers and travelers only, except when travelers need special assistance. There are now measures to minimize contact between crew and passengers at the airport terminus. There will be limiting of physical distance between security officers and passengers and between airport staff and luggage. Phase boarding is to be implemented to avoid crowding at aisles. All crew are exempt from quarantine after any flight if they do not display symptoms of COVID-19 and if there was no suspected case of COVID-19 on their flight. If there is a suspected case on the flight, the crew shall be quarantined at home or at designated facilities. If they test negative, they can resume normal activities. If there is a suspected case on the flight or symptoms detected, passengers that were within 2 rows of passengers with symptoms are to be quarantined for testing. If they test negative, they will be allowed to leave the airport. If positive, they have to remain quarantined in accordance with the MOH. If there are layovers, crew members are not allowed to leave their hotel rooms except in cases of emergency. All passengers are exempt from quarantine on arrival at their destinations if they do not have COVID-19 symptoms.
Passengers leaving here, going to other countries, it will depend where they are going, COVID-free certificate is required. If somebody is flying here into our country, it will be a requirement. You must have COVID-free certificate. Yeah? So I would expect that if you are flying out, even for the safety of the other passengers within the aircraft, it will only be prudent for you to be tested.
And when it comes to flights that are at night during curfew,
we are giving special concessions, special dispensation, that if you are flying at night and you show the roadblock, you show the boarding pass or the ticket, you'll be allowed to go to the airport together with your taxi driver.
It is not going to be an easy journey, but hopefully all are aboard for the voyage through these treacherous coronavirus times. Anita Nkonge, NTV.